So this seems to be the campaign of comebacks, because we already saw once with Russia that they were able to fend off the massive Mongolian army and fight multiple fronts, and then they came back to destroy a lot of the Hunnic cities, and they got big and they became a great power. We're seeing that with Korea now. Korea was being pushed back by the Philippines. Now they are looking like they're going to make an even better comeback than Russia did previously. It's just crazy because we've never seen those events happen where a civ looks like they're going to get wiped out, and then all of a sudden they make this crazy, they make it with some crazy offensive moves. They capture a few cities, and then bam, they're back and even stronger than before. When it looked like at one point that these civs would have been completely destroyed off the face of the earth. So I don't know what's going on with this campaign. I absolutely love it though. We've never seen this before. It's incredible. And as you can see, I have discovered a few technologies because I wanted to discover where uranium, aluminum, and oil and coal are at. Actually, I don't know if I got where the aluminum is at, which doesn't really matter. Traditionally, aluminum is usually found all over the place. But yeah, I think off the top of my head, I didn't find out where aluminum was. Doesn't really matter. All we really look for is uranium anyways. But we'll do that in the next video. I guess you guys can see, if you see a few tiles that look in a little radiation green, you'll know if someone has uranium. But for now, I just want to focus in on seeing what's going to happen with this Korean-Filipino war. So France has adopted autocracy. We have India and Mongolia piecing out, Greece and England piecing out. So let's see here. We just discussed how there were 4 artillery attacks that the Koreans now have under their control. Can't remember off the top of my head exactly which country processes their turn first. They have a battleship attack as well as a melee unit that's already close by. Now, the thing is, if they don't protect this Great War Infantry, then this might make it more difficult because the AI is going to have to find a way to get another melee unit. The Korean AI, I should say, is going to have to find a way to get another melee unit in. Luckily, this is open terrain. Luckily for the Koreans, this is open terrain, so they can just move down south to this hill tile and then walk right across. Wow, so they already got it pretty low. They're already prepared to attack it twice with 2 melee units. This city is going to fall, and that is going to be incredible. That's big. Now, let's not forget the Filipinos are bringing in another infantry unit, so Hanoi might be under attack here. The problem is, the big issue is that we just saw, if the Koreans process their turn first and they destroy this city, then that would mean these planes are destroyed. They won't be sent anywhere. A lot of the reason why Hanoi's health is staying very low is because the Great War Bombers. So now the Philippines have processed their turn. They've obviously destroyed this Great War Infantry that the Koreans had just north. It doesn't really matter though. They have someone there to take their place, and the Philippines are about to get kicked out of Eastern Asia. Wow, that is so crazy. That is insane. I cannot believe we saw that. This is a massive city to take. Again, the Philippines are definitely going to lose a lot of their power, because a lot of the power that they've acquired in the info addicts comes from this city. It's 24 population. I'm not saying that they're gonna be completely out of the info addicts, but that's their 3rd largest city. So it is going to have a major impact. I guess I should probably send these spies somewhere, even though I find the spies just kind of annoying and I don't really use them that much. I guess we'll send one to Ethiopia. We'll send another one to maybe Russia or Poland. I guess Russia, since we're already here. Where is Moscow at? There we go. Moscow. And the last one, I'm thinking Rome, and Rome's right here too, so perfect. Okay, let's send it to Rome, and that's fine. Again, spies, I'm kind of done with spies. In these AI-only battles, they don't give up any information. I'm wondering if there's a mod that'll let us know. I'm sure there's got to be a mod that maybe extends the information that the spies are able to tell you. I'd absolutely love that. That'd be really cool. Okay, so let's see, because more than likely this city will fall. There's also a privateer up north, which they seriously need. What the Koreans actually really need is some sort of open borders agreement with the Japanese, because that has been killing them. Not being able to use this fleet just kind of northeast of the Korean Peninsula has really hurt them this entire time. So bam, they captured it. Wow. And more than likely, they'll probably send these units down south to defend Hanoi, and that will solidify their rule over this region of the map. That is insane. Because I remember when the Philippines were starting to dominate the Koreans, I remember people in the comment section, discussing like, oh man, poor Korea. Like I'm glad I didn't pick Korea, or I feel bad for people that pick Korea. And now it's like, well, what happened? You know what I mean? Like I cannot believe this happened. I mean, let's not forget that these two cities did fall and they got recaptured by Korea, so they did lose a bit of power here. But in terms of like territory wise, obviously they only gained a lot of strength. I mean, doesn't matter because Korea and the Philippines are doing much better than my original pick, and that is Japan. Japan has been so disappointing, but you know what? Hey, at least they have full control over their island. Ooh, I like how they're splitting this island. That's really cool. How the Japanese control the north and the Champa control the south. That is very, very awesome border growth. I like that sort of thing. Anyways, and they'll probably also grab this uranium at some point, but still the Japanese have been extremely disappointing in their colonization. They have not done any, pretty much. Which, I mean, sometimes AIs have good games, sometimes they have bad games. Sometimes they're just not going to do anything, and sometimes they're going to do a lot. Are there any more settlers? Not really. Not really. The AI's been very, very slow at settling, which is weird, which is strange. Again, I mean, they've got the whole game to settle, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to continue to see cities. I remember in the original AI colonization game, there was quite a bit of settling, but that was because it was deity. We were playing on deity difficulty. Now we're playing on emperor. On prince difficulty, by the end of the campaign, which I think I stopped it officially at turn 600, most of the continents were filled out. Here comes Rome. Okay, so they are going after Songhai. If I remember correctly, I believe Mali is also after Songhai. I'm sorry, no, Mali is also after Rome, which is going to make things really difficult. Very, very difficult. And this is the final city under Aski's control, so this would be eliminating him from the game if Rome is able to make this conquest. As well as it would be almost uniting their three colonies. Not exactly, but it would be very close to uniting their three colonies. Obviously, this Greek colony is a very big problem for someone like Rome, especially if they take over the Songhai capital. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Speaking of other major disappointments in the colonization game, Indonesia is one massive disappointment, especially with the size of their fleets and them going out there and exploring. I guess the Philippines as well. Eastern Asia does seem strong, but I just thought that we'd see a lot more, activities, I guess. A lot more going out there and discovering things, but I guess not. They decided against it. They're not even really going to war. I would love to see a late game. I was talking about that in the very beginning of this campaign. A late game Filipino-Indonesian war. Obviously, not right now because the Philippines can only really defend their territory with all the submarines they have under their control. But I'm expecting a peace deal between these two countries very soon. I look at this. We've got a little bit of... I mean, we still have the massive wars going on in the Middle East, but nothing resulted from that. Besides, I guess, Tibet taking over the Afghan capital, but that, I mean, I would be surprised if they keep that. You know, this is what I think eventually will happen. There's so many little smaller divided nations within the Middle East and eastward, maybe Southeast Asia with the Champa. India, obviously, this one Mongolian colony. We have Tibet, who's not very strong either. I think that if a great power wants to really solidify their power, what they need to do is they need to attack this region. And that's only a few nations have that opportunity. Russia being one of them, and the Ethiopians being the other. Technically, Rome does as well. They could go through Greece, and then maybe through Ottoman territory, obviously if the Russians don't get involved, but they could do something like that, which isn't too bad of an idea. What is Rome doing through Portuguese territory? I don't know. Rome is set up with multiple artillery attacks. The problem is that Songhai still has land units, and they're going to need to destroy these units if they want to make any progress. Wow, okay, so a massive Roman fleet is now out discovering the Atlantic. We have the Indonesians also moving across the map. I mean, this is when things are starting to get kind of global. AIs are not afraid of declaring war and sending over units to a faraway land to take over some cities, which things get really crazy when that starts to happen. I'm sure Rome is going to probably send over more cities to South America. I'm expecting something like that. Now, naval battle. See, that's another thing, is that because the world is more global, I need to think more about when AIs declare war on each other. Just because they don't border each other doesn't necessarily mean it's not a entertaining war. There could be massive amounts of fleets going at it here in the Atlantic, in the Pacific, in the Indian Ocean. I mean, all around the world, we could see stuff like that. I mean, we're seeing already. We're seeing Cham, privateers everywhere. The Boer have really stepped up their own naval game. Obviously, the Portuguese, the Romans, the English, the Indonesians. They've had quite a huge fleets in the Pacific. But that is it. Still waiting for that peace deal to go down at some point. See, what the Koreans really need is to slap down a citadel right here, just to take one tile back. That would be a big step forward. I guess they also need to do that because I don't know if the Champa, I'm pretty sure both the Japanese and the Champa do not care for the Koreans too much. I don't think they do. And finally, Hanoi is going out. Whoa! Oh, this must be a some sort of plane unit attacking Manila, I'm thinking. Yes, because now the Philippines are down to only one Great War bomber. That obviously eliminates a lot of their strength they had beforehand. Persia and Tibet still somewhat going at it. I have no idea why. Luckily for Persia, though, they don't have to worry about the Assyrians. However, they do still need to worry about the Greeks. We need to watch very carefully when Ethiopia starts to send units across the Red Sea. And I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen because these units are so weak here. Ethiopia realizes that. They will be trying to, I think, go for an aggressive move. Let's go and check how the Roman campaign is going in the Sahara Desert as soon as this turn processes. They're having, obviously, a bit of trouble. And what are the Congo doing? I don't know. Also, Rome's not having too much luck taking out these Askian units, these Songhai units. They are not. Assyria and Byzantium have pieced out. What do we discover? Augustus is plotting against... Ooh, I'd love to see that Roman-Portuguese war. We will see a few more big European wars, I think, by the end of this campaign, for sure. We're still about, at least 100 turns away from the end of the series, but I'm expecting a bit more. We have Ethiopia constructing the Eiffel Tower, and Catherine is plotting against who? Oh, Congo. Okay. I always get confused with the modded leaders and their names. Very confusing. Don't know where Rome is sending their fleet. At the same time, here's another thing you have to take note of, is because the world is global, like I said, they will be more willing to send over massive fleets and units to, all the way across on the other side of the planet. And that's bad because sometimes they can't reinforce their homeland. That happens all too often. Greeks and the Ottomans still somewhat going at it. Austria and France have stayed really, really quiet, like scary quiet. It actually looks like France somewhat has lost a lot of their power. I don't know why. They've obviously spammed the archaeologists, which isn't a big surprise. The AI loves to do that for some reason. So I guess maybe they have to... I don't know. Maybe they have to delete some units so that they can get more control over their economy. So they wanted those archaeologists, that archaeology army or something like that, I'm guessing. And I'm hoping this fleet is going back to Champa territory because they could really, really use that back at home. So that is what I figured. Songhai is also being attacked by the Congo. Not a big surprise there. And for the Congo, they seriously need this. Again, there are two African nations that really need to worry, and I mean that like African nations, not Middle Eastern nations. Obviously, they are the most susceptible to an attack by the Ethiopians. But we talk about the Congo and the Boer. They are the last remaining African nations that border the Ethiopians at the moment. So, I mean, I guess both Rome and Congo could really, really use this city. It's a good city. It's located on the river. It's well populated. But they need to grind it out. Now, I don't believe the Congo are at war with Mali, and actually Mali even has given the Congo open borders, which is a big deal. Surprised that happened because there seems to have been a citadel war going back and forth between these nations. Quite a very massive citadel war. So this could still go in the Romans' favor. They could probably sneak in if they wanted to. They could potentially sneak in. What is this? Japan has adopted order. Okay, we've got Sweden and Greece piecing out. And still no peace deal between the Philippines and the Koreans. Anything going on up here? Not really. Still have quite a lot of Roman settlers, and I'm willing to bet, as long as Rome doesn't get themselves involved in a war with a naval powerhouse like Portugal, cough cough, I think they'll eventually land those settlers in the New World, and it looks like they're going to be the colonial powerhouse. It looks like that. Wait a second. When did they grab this city? I do not remember. Wait, when did they take this city over? Holy crap. And is that from India that they got? Did they get that city from India? I can't. Well, they've got 3. Have they always had 3 colonies? Is that crack? No, I'm pretty sure they pieced out with that. And I don't know if I discussed. So India has lost every single colony. India, unfortunately, had to peace out 4 of their colonies in the New World. Wow, that's a really big deal. That's some straight up EU4 shit right there. That is straight out of Europa Universalis. Wow. They pieced out for their New World colonies. That's amazing. I've never seen that before in Civ 5. This campaign has been very shocking to see some of this stuff happen. A lot of AI things that we've never seen before. All right, so the Congo have obviously done much more damage to the Songhai military than Augustus has, and Augustus is now having trouble trying to maneuver through Congo military units, as well as, obviously the Congo having 5 great war bombers. That's helping them out quite a bit. Have they processed their turn yet? I don't even know. Well, it's about to be turn at 390. About to be turn 390. It looks like they're going to get. I think the Congo are going to get the job done, especially if Augustus can't find a way to get around. Again, I'm not 100%, but I think Mali's at war with Rome. Again, I'm really not 100% about that at all. Something to take note of is that Mali only has 1 annexed coastal city. The other one from the Ashanti is still puppeted, which would mean, because you would think that Mali would be a colonial powerhouse too, but they are lacking a fleet. They are seriously lacking a fleet. England taking out some Indian lancers. England grabbing that city because of. It's funny how these cities have exchanged hands. A lot of the cities that are placed in the New Worlds didn't start off with these owners. They exchanged hands at some point. It's funny how drastic these changes have came. So now we have Rome, I think, technically leading the colonization game. England in second place, tied with Mongolia with both 2 cities, Zulu, and then Portugal at 1. What do we discover here? Rome plotting against the Ottomans. I don't think you should get involved with that. That's probably not the best idea. You should probably leave them alone. All right, let's see what the Congo do. So they've got the city down into the yellow. Rome's probably helping them out a little bit with the artillery attacks that they can do. Oh, they're trying to approach the city. Let's see what Songhai tries. They did buy a cannon unit, it looks like, or maybe that. Yeah, it looks like they bought a cannon unit. Shocked that we just found out that the AIs. I just recently realized that the AIs do purchase units inside their cities, but it's only when they're under major attack. They don't do it well, sometimes they do it, I think. It's just hard to tell. Very hard to tell. India approaching Tibet, so is Persia. Persia attacking from the west, and we have the Indians attacking from the south. But anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.